Hello YouTube, this is Asatsu5 with another video for you. A little disclaimer, this video might be offensive to some people. Not because I curse, not because I'm necessarily calling anybody in particular out, simply because I disagree with you. And I feel it is my job here on YouTube is to educate people. I don't necessarily make videos to make people laugh. I don't necessarily make videos to entertain people, although people do get entertained by my videos. My videos are mostly educational videos, and that is my prime directive when I make a video, is first, make it educational, second, add a little bit of entertainment in there, and this is a response to my video where I compare the Fiscal's Hatchet to the SOG Fast Hawk. I have gotten a lot of comments saying that you can't compare the two items. So, they're two completely different items. You can't compare a Tomahawk to a hatchet. You can't compare a small axe to another small axe because their design intention was completely different from each other. And I'm going to prove how weak of a statement that is. And again, that's me being offensive, and I don't mean it. It's just I want to make this video as short and sweet as possible. So let's get started. The two knives you're looking at are two completely different knives designed for two completely different purposes. This is a dive knife that came with my BCD. I had to pay extra for this dive knife and a flashlight. And this is a Spyderco Warrior, designed by Guy Raffaelli from Israeli military, and designed really as a single-purpose knife, and that is to be a fighting knife, a killing tool. You can see the blade shapes are completely different. You can see the materials are relatively different. Both synthetic handles. Both are stainless steels. Technically this isn't a steel, but we can split hairs later. But for the sake of the video, these are both stainless steel knives with synthetic handle scales. And actually I don't know if this is a full tang or not, but that's for another video. But this knife was designed to be a dive knife. It was made by scuba divers, by a scuba diving company, and they added a bunch of features on the blade, serrations on the back, a little, we call them gut hooks, but that's like a cord cutter, and a plain edge, and a screwdriver tip, or some people call it a probing tip. What does this knife have? Well, you have an upswept blade, you have a point, and you have serrations on the back. Any of you who've watched my review on this knife will know that I chunked this knife in order to use this knife as my dive knife. And I can tell you from experience that anytime I whip this knife out in front of my dive buddies, or dive partners, or dive associates, or dive acquaintances, they're always impressed with this knife, and they're usually carrying this one because we shop at the same place, and we have the same BCDs, and we usually have very similar gear. And they're usually carrying this one. This is what my dive master carries. And although two completely different designs, blade shapes, two completely different blade shapes, blade material, craftsmanship, completely different, I feel I have the right to compare these knives. Why? This is a dive knife, but it's a crappy dive knife. And this is made out of H1 steel, will not rust, holds a razor sharp edge, has a hawkbill or a concave serrated edge with an upswept plain edge. I feel this knife makes a better dive knife. In fact, I'm willing to trust my life with this knife as opposed to this knife made by scuba divers. So that is the point. Two completely different designs, two different philosophies on design. I feel I have the right to compare these knives because I'm using them for similar purposes, and one actually cuts. It comes down to that. This knife cuts stuff. This knife, I don't know what it does. It doesn't really cut. If I had a free hand and wasn't using my cell phone, I'll demonstrate that to you. But for the sake of reviews, I will compare stuff that are really completely different. You can look at them and tell they're different, but I will compare them because I'm using them, or using this one more especially, for the same purpose. They'll used for the same purpose, and my viewers on YouTube, for the most part, want to know what is the better deal for their use. Now, there's going to be some people on YouTube who feel I don't have the right to compare the two items. Well, this is a dive knife. This is a fighting knife. You can't compare the two. That's what people are saying. So I really don't understand that. But for you who say you can't compare two items because they have two completely different design philosophies, I want to point that out to you. If I don't compare different stuff, then how am I supposed to know what is better to use? If I never compared the two knives before, let's say I never bought this because I wasn't interested in a fighting knife, and I carry this when I go scuba diving, I get tangled up, I drowned, I'm dead. Thanks to my own testing, I'm able to decide which is the safer knife to carry when scuba diving. And that's it. That's very simple. I'm going to compare two completely different items and tell you why it's relevant information. Hang on one second. Unfortunately, I had a whole lot more to say than I actually planned on. With this video editing software that I'm using at the moment, I'm only allowed to upload 15 minutes. And the video was turned out to be like 25 minutes. So I'm going to break the video up into a 3-part series. If you disagree with me, watch part 2. If you still disagree with me, watch part 3, and I guarantee you will catch my point. I make a lot of good points, and I feel I hit the nail right on the head. Now, I made points using different items, but if you still want me to talk about Tomahawks and Hatchets and the subtle differences between the two, I can do that. But for the sake of bringing the point home, I thought this was the simplest way. So instead of having a 25-minute video, I might have an hour. So I thought this was the most time expedient way to make this video. Again, I'm having 3 parts. Feel free to watch them. Feel free to leave comments, and I hope you enjoy it. I'm a Satsu5, and I'm out.